How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Fantasy Forge. I'm Cameron Holt, and I hope you're doing well. It's time again to take some D&D monsters, some Pokémon, and mash them together in an unholy matrimony of disgusting, vile, awful, horrible art. As always, links to the Pokémon generating website, as well as my own curated list of D&D monsters, can be found in the description down below, if you want to play along at home. As per usual, I'll be plugging today's creations into my own homebrew world of Vasker, but they can just as easily be plugged right into your home games if you like what you see. Let's get started. Our first Pokemon of the day is Snorlax. This good-for-nothing bum is the laziest Pokemon doing pretty much nothing aside from eating and sleeping all the time. It only awakens to eat and can't be bothered to do anything else without being incredibly peeved. The D&D counterpart for the snoring munchman is the Behir. Behir are huge monstrosities that are commonly mistaken for blue dragons, by idiots ignoring the fact that they have worm-like bodies with 12 legs and no wings. They are, however, blue and breathe lightning, so close enough, I guess. For this one, I decided to try and steer away from the obvious chubby lizard and instead went in favor of the fuzzy snake-like appearance. I'd probably make some changes if I revisited this design, but I'm ultimately pretty happy with how it turned out. Deep in the crystal caverns beneath the Rook Mountains, a gargantuan aberration slumbers. Displaced from the far realms, stranded in the material plane for time immeasurable. In the beginning, it wrought havoc upon Kavor, burrowing from continent to continent, leaving swaths of savagery and destruction in its wake. It amassed a horde that would put any dragon to shame, and buried it deep beneath the surface of Vasker, filling a massive cavern within the Underdark with all manner of platinum, trinkets, and legendary weapons. The creature grew ever more weary as the years dragged on, retiring itself to century-long slumbers. It is said that once every century the Leviathan stirs, burrowing through the Underdark in search of a hearty meal, before lumbering back to its hoard through the labyrinth of twisting tunnels bored into Kavor's crust. Through the centuries it has had many names. Most crumbled or burned away during its early rampages. The last remaining shreds of information are passed on through the oral history of the Drow. They refer to it only as the Quaking Slumber. Up to bat next for Pokemon, we've got Gyarados. This horrifying deep-sea creature is the stuff of nightmares. According to its Pokedex entry, in ancient times, Gyarados used to lay cities to waste, so that's a good time. The next friend from the monster manual is the Beholder. Aside from being arguably the most iconic monster in all of D&D, this aberration is everything from a nightmare that haunts dilapidated ruins to a mastermind mob boss beneath the streets of Waterdeep. Their big middle eye cancels out magic, and their 10 baby eyes shoot rays of death and sadness at 20 beats per minute. In the outermost reaches of the cosmic realms of existence hovers a plane of madness, the Far Realm. Infinite layers of twisted landscapes fold and crush one another, playing host to every imaginable eldritch horror, even mangling creatures that enter from outside into horrid aberrations themselves. One such aberration is the Rift Watcher. Once a leviathan from the depths of the Vigilant Sea, the monstrosity was transported through the thinning veil to the plane of madness. Unable to find its way back through the twisting folds of the Far Realm, the creature was twisted and corrupted. Eye stalks sprouted from the leviathan's head. From its tail grew a large eye that cancels magic in its cone of vision. But what one must be most careful of is the eye within the Rift Watcher's throat. This massive scarlet orb fires a cone of energy that holds potential to banish any creature within its expulsive gaze. The Rift Watcher has but one desire: to return to the depths of the Vigilant Sea and reclaim its position as the ruler of the depths. Our final Pokemon of the day is Charmeleon. Hell yeah. This hot-headed and hot-tailed fire lizard has a bit of a temper and is one step away from being everyone's favorite fire type. The final D&D mon of the day is the Grell. It appears the dice have spoken, and the theme of today's episode is aberrations. Sick. These beak-bearing bird brains originate from the Far Realm, and are actually not just a floating brain. The wrinkled hide atop their blind head is actually inches thick and surprisingly tough. There's a joke in there somewhere. I'll let you guys find it. During the 500-year war between the humans and the elves, both sides explored every option they could in order to destroy the other. In the 308th year of the war, the human emperor Davin Crexus, with the help of Archmage Percival Elamorn, reached into the Far Realm in search of a weapon that could turn the tides of the war in his favor. What they found instead were not weapons, but soldiers. The Far Flames were reptilian beasts with whip-like tentacles tipped with blazing flames. It appeared that the emperor had gotten his wish. Swaths of the forest of Hostin, home to the elves of Vassacre, were scorched and razed to the ground. However, the Far Flames were untamable, and their rage unmatched. It took vast resources just to transport the creatures to the battlefield safely, but Emperor Davin insisted they were the key to victory. On one fateful occasion, a number of Far Flames escaped from their transport within the swamp city of Percabia. There were countless innocents destroyed in the ensuing rampage, among whom included the Emperor himself. When his son, Dalen Crexus, was crowned the new Emperor of the Crexan Empire, he ordered the Far Flames to be destroyed. But there are rumors that a handful of the aberrations were sold to a tribe of nomadic assassins that reside in the vast desert to the west, and can still be found among the dunes to this day. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, subscribe for more D&D and Pokemon fusions, D&D animatics, art challenges, and more. In my next episode, I'm going to design some demons based on your suggestions. Leave a comment below with the type of demon that you want to see painted, and you just might be featured in the next episode. I'll see you all in the next video, but until then, stay safe out there, adventurers.